Hello,
Anyway,
guys. Welcome back. And tonight we'll still have two games, and very happy tonight I'll be with Dex together to stream both those two games. And yeah, Dex, say hello to our audience.
hi everyone, good to be back again.
Yeah, good to have you again. So this is like the how many games you've been streamed this time?
Wow, I've lost count,
You
but
lost-
I'm
you
glad
lost-
we are
lost
reaching
the-
the end already.
Yeah, you lost the counter, right? too
Yeah.
many stream, and yeah, I think it must be very pretty special for like streaming the game because like actually on Monday I asked Josh like how did he feel like streaming the game, and he said it's kind of a totally different feeling. But you know, Josh is kind of the commander or the captain of his team, so yeah, it's the feeling he's more gets suitable for the caster.
Yeah, same as myself.
Yeah.
I've been so many CBLs also. Of course, going my experience compared to the teams that we're gonna watch is completely on a different level. They are way above what I can offer. But you know, CBL is always the what we watch in CBL. It's always something special. You know, we don't know what to expect. Just like what we saw from BJT against CNC last time. You know, no one could ever think about that. You know, so it's always interesting to see, you know, what the different commanders' idea is for the competition.
Yeah. So tonight we have two games, and the first game is BPJT versus BZZW, and this is from the lower bracket. Actually, the winner will have a chance to move to the finals of the lower bracket, and the second match today is gonna be best of 5. It's not best of 3, because like this is the finals for the upper bracket. It's gonna be the CNC, yeah, the champion team versus YYY. So that must be a very interesting game.
Yeah, I mean, the first game we were going to watch BPJT against BZZW. One of them going to be the finalists for the CBL competition. You know, they're going to in it to win it. $10,000 prize is on the line right now, and of course, you know, at least no team wants to lose now.
Yeah, already can see the price on the table, so no one want to leave.
Yeah, they're counting money. You know how they're going to divide.
Yeah, and we can see the map ban pick here. Actually, the BPJT they banned Halonfield and chose the map Harbor City, and the same for BZCW. They also chose Harbor City as their attacking map, and banned Crack Castle, and picked for BPJT they picked the Wind Hussars, and BZCW they picked the Modal Battalion.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the band picks, you know, BPJT, we're going to see a Harbor City double games again. Because we know these teams know this map very, very well. It's the most popular map, I think, for this CBL.
Yep. Yeah, because
so,
Harbor City it's like kind of the most popular map in CBL, I believe. And also it's like the oldest map in Congress Blade. I believe it's, if I remember correctly, this is the first map we had in Congress Blade. So yeah, everyone's familiar with this map. Yeah, it's kind of the OG for when talking about maps. So Harbor City
OG map.
OG map. Harbor City is always there, like the first born or something.
Yeah, I mean, the last time match we saw BPJT choosing Harbor City, they actually beat CNC on the defense. That was a crazy match to watch. But of course, if you look at the ban picks, unit ban, BPJT actually chose to ban Shield Maidens and their Chevaliers, which actually helped them won on the defense. They also banned the Stalwarts, whereas BZZW choosing to ban the Siphonaris, the Nafangats, the Matelatori, and the Zakarian Militia. So basically, what we see is BZZW, they don't like these special units. So they choose to ban everything, whereas BPJT choosing to ban like the Stalwarts, Shield Maidens, you know, those very strong anti-infantry units.
Yeah, actually, the BZCW, their strategy is kind of clear, because like the 3 units they banned is kind of served for their attacking map. Because like the Navarre guards and the Metallitor, those kind of long range units gonna be very annoying, when the attackers are facing against them.
Yep. Of course, BZW,
yeah.
I think BJT, what they want is to have a little bit of the unit advantage on their pusher. So they choose to ban the Star Wars. I think it's a good ban from BPJT.
Yeah.
But I don't know why they banned their Chevaliers, because the last time they used Chevaliers, they beat CNC. So I think we will see more of the more traditional gameplay from both teams, trying to mount the towers on A point, trying to, of course, go for the final base. Of course, we know Harbor City, it's one of those maps that you only actually will see like 2 big fights. Yeah, because there's only A point and final point. So yeah, it's gonna be very important for these two teams to make sure that they win the fights in front of them.
Yeah, actually, in this map, it's like this map is like the first map we had, but also it means something like your opponents all people must be pretty familiar with this map. So all your strategies, all your move must be can be predicted by your enemies. So it also bring a lot of risks when playing this map. So but it's the same for both sides. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more at this stage. It's more like a chess game between the commanders. Who's going to make the first move? Who's going to lose that position? I think we'll see a lot of like fake movements, like moving left, moving right. Trying to get each other out of position, because I think both teams already have seen. Of course, I think at this stage when we go into like the final games, right?
Yeah.
Each team has the chance to beat each other, so they will be very careful of where they want to take their fights.
Yep. So I think Heilongfjord and Harbor City are the two of the most competitive maps in Conquest played. Especially Heilongfjord, in this map we don't have any siege tower and all those things. People can players can bridge in a really quick way. And Harbor City is kind of the same, because there are only 2 points in the game and the map is not big, so the game must be pretty intense. But for Harbor City, I think it's very important to make sure that you can push siege towers really quick, because it can save a lot of time to take over the point A. But if you spend too much time on point A, and the defender, their strategy must be pretty clear. They just stick to their plan or to their point, and then they can win the game in a really quick way.
Yep.
So yeah, the early game for Harbor City very important. Yep.
Yeah, the early game, it's more gonna be how much each team is able to take down the siege towers. Of course, you want to force the attackers to come in and to take that first fight. We've seen a lot of teams, even winning, like for the defenders, winning on the A point itself, because it's not easy to take that A point if you do not have those towers mounted. It's really, really hard to take. So the defenders can either play all in on the A point, or they can just take it slow, try to fight one wave on the A point and go for the next fight on the final base. Yeah, but I think BZZW, they are the last team from China mainland, right?
Yeah.
In the competition. So they must be waving the flag very high for their server. I think everyone is watching them and rooting for them in China mainland. And for them to come, I think they've already given us so many great performances. Their last game, of course, beating GNG, the Japanese team from Frontier, 2-0 in a very wonderful performance. I think this team is really one of the underdogs coming through the competition. No one really knew about them. I think it's their first time as a team, play together in the competition. So, yeah, I'm very looking forward to see how they will perform.
Yeah, me too. For tonight, and also we have CNC. They are we're also impressed by them, and they are if they still can win and make it to the finals, they have a really like a great chance to win the seventh title. Because like they've already like win 6 times in a row. That is pretty amazing. It's kind of they are the monster in Congolese Blade League.
Yeah, for sure. And YYY is definitely no slouch, you know. There's so many star-studded players down there. So I think it's a match that we're going to look forward to in the second round. Oh, game's going to start?
Yeah, game's going to start. All teams ready.
Let's go. Let's see how they're going to line up.
Yep. Okay, here we go. The very first game, Harbor City.
Wow, okay, you see, a lot of musket coming up from BPJT on the defender side. I think we see almost 10 muskets.
Oh,
and they have very few heavy players.
That's a lot, man. So
that's a lot.
Muskets,
so obviously they want to use that muskets to take down the towers as fast as possible. BZW opting to go for a lot more heavy classes. I think about 7 heavy classes. So there's a big difference down there. Of course, if you look at the unit composition, BZW has a little bit more gold troops compared to BPJT. BPJT interestingly has a incendiary archers, the blue archers. I wonder what's that for, but we'll see. It's very rare to see archers in CBL.
Yeah. So yeah. This time the attacking side is gonna be BZCW and the defender gonna be BPJT, the blue team.
I think both teams pretty. Honestly, I think the most important is how. I think BZW is gonna have a hard time mounting these towers. To be honest, BPJT so many muskets. You know, not only they can take down the siege towers with the bombs, but they can also destroy mortars around it. So they have to be very, very. BZW has to be very alert on the timing that they want to invade into the city and take the A point.
Yeah, just like we said, the early stage is pretty important in this map. And now the game starts, and we can say from the minimap like the BZW, like they scattered all over the map and pushing 3 siege towers together. And
first trap already coming out from BZW, taking out the ballistas on the wall. Of course, those ballistas can, in the hands of a very good player, they can really catch heroes with a headshot. So they want to take those ballistas down immediately.
Yeah, I think like I always can find the enjoyment when using ballista. It feels so good when like take a shot and kill people in a second. That feeling is so good.
Yeah, I know a couple of friends. They love to play the ballista. Immediately when the game starts, they're the first to race down there. No one can take my ballista. I want to play the ballista. So my friends are just like that.
Yeah, especially like the purple quality ballista is so amazing. Sometimes you can like take down people more than 3 people in a time. That's so good.
It always makes the highlights.
Yeah. You know, last time I did the community stream, and I have all kinds of like the gold and the purple artilleries in the game. So I found a lot of enjoyment here.
Okay, must be good at artillery. I'm horrible at artillery. I always build artillery from my teammate.
So we can say the BZCW, the team, the attackers still trying to push their siege tower. Okay, now all siege towers got destroyed at the.
Interestingly, we see that BPJT on the defenders already put down 8 culverins on the wall. So that's really early to commit so many artillery. Of course, we don't see the Falconetti gunners, so that's probably why they want to use those artillery to take down the siege towers. Wow, those muskets doing so much work. I think BZW, they want to put the mortar close to the wall, but those muskets just bombing, putting the caltrops. There's no way for those mortars to do anything.
Yeah, so that is a pretty smart strategy to pick those weapons.
Yeah, of course we see the only way that BZW can take down these culverins, the defenders' culverins, is by using the trebuchets. Now they still have 9 trebuchets, which can actually match the number of artillery that BPJT, the defenders, can put up. So it's going to be important that they land these trebuchets to take out the culverins, give their siege towers a chance to reach the wall.
And one more champs. So yeah, this is a pretty. They are like a pretty decisive because like one using those champs. Because like many teams actually they will save their champs and don't want to use it in the early stage. They want to save to the final point or something. But BCCW they just like want to push it out and their goal is pretty clear. So they like use the champs without any hesitation and that is good.
Wow, BCSW already has a team inside the wall.
Yeah.
They're looking to force a rotation of BJT. How will BJT actually react to? Do they see it? Yes, of course they see it. Couple of guys switching out into their, probably going to switch out to cavalry to deal with this push from the inside. Wow, this is very annoying to deal with because you have to, not only you have to watch the front, now you have to watch the back.
Yeah.
For the defenders.
Okay,
it's
now
a lot of BPJT already, or even BZW, look, they pushing their units into the gate, trying to make BPJT come out from the wall, which is they've been doing so well to destroy the siege towers.
Yeah. Now the defender, the attackers, the BCCW is in kind of the it seems like they just want to try to besiege those defenders out there.
Wow. Coming through, Kev coming out from the attackers already, getting shut down by the defenders, BPJT with the modals and helpers down there. But then the flank has already been exposed. 5 heroes already on the attacker side on the supply point. Oh, supply point is going to fall down. Now BPJT has to be very quick to interrupt that supply point and get it back, because if they do not do so, BZW can just resupply, get more troops out into the fight. Oh no, the attackers will probably get killed on the main gate down here.
Oh, now the same side, the defender, they are doing pretty well and have greater chance to win. But from the back, we can say from the supply point, the attackers are coming on the way to support their teammates, and the defender must be needs to like figure it out and try to find a way to deal with them.
Correct. So nice Imperial Pike charge coming from there, but more halberds coming up from BZXW. It's going to do so much damage to hold the point down there. Of course, they have the supply point on the behind, which is getting interrupted by a spear from BPJT, so they're not able to bring out new troops now. Attackers from the BZXW have to quickly spawn and save their teammates inside the castle down here. BPJT doing such an amazing job. Another short sword on the supply point. So all these heroes from BZXW, they don't have a unit and they're coming back. They cannot take out a new troop. And this is buying more time for BPJT to clean up the troops at the back line down there.
Yeah, I think also that there's one reason that the BPJT, they are the defender on the stairs. So for BZCW, they brought like several squads of cavalries, and they just cannot like go up and to the stairs. So those units can be like safe and just wait for the cavalry finish their skills and then go down to kill all of them.
Correct. Meanwhile, BZXW actually mounting up a tower. So now A point is exposed and available for them to take. They're already sending a couple of halberds and up onto the A point. Now the question is, okay, do they all bring everyone up onto the A point, or do they continue fighting in the middle? So, okay, looks like they're going to take the A point down here. Let's see how BPJT reacts to this.
Okay, but BPJT still hold the supply points, so it's a very good thing for them. They can have their reinforcements in time and to support their point A. And even
right, it looks like BPJT, coming back to take the A point.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a very risky part, because now this is all trappable. BPJT, you got to be quick if you want to take the A point back. Oh no, they didn't. So another halberd's just dying. Quickly retreat. If not, you're gonna die down there. Okay. So at the timer, BZW, I think their push down on the supply point was successfully give them an opening on the A point. I think overall it's pretty even. Probably BZW losing a couple more heroes in the first push, but that's the kind of trade you need to do in order to take the A point down successfully.
Yeah, now BPJT still hold the supply point, and for now they kind of retreat from the supply point and hide their units behind those buildings.
Mm-hmm.
The
Of course, the defenders will have a lot of artillery, just 16 artillery still of mortars that can actually hurt the BPJT units hiding behind.
Yeah, and look at that, like the one player from BCCW tried to steal the points for the final base, but obviously...
Oh, he got found out.
Yeah. But that is a pretty bold move to go to the final base. That is good.
Definitely. BCCW is very aggressive. Look, they don't want to waste time setting up artillery. They want to push in together and take the first fight. Of course, BPJT has to be quick to rotate to save the supply point down here. Here we're going to see the second big fight coming out from BZXW and BPJT. Who will have the advantage here? Ooh,
Okay,
looks like
now
BPJT is able to get everyone back.
Yeah, more artillery now are set up.
This is a bit risky for BZXW to push in down there because BPJT has a full set of halberds, pikes, and even cav waiting on the behind. So they have to be very careful if they commit into this supply point now.
Okay,
okay.
now,
The archer's actually doing quite a lot of work.
Yeah. And the archers from like the BPJT, they are in the supply point, so they are like the armors are like infinite, can shoot all the time.
Yeah, and BPJT doing so well. Those mortars, the remaining artillery from BPJT doing so much work for them down here. Oh, now they see that BZXW doesn't want to take this fight and going to chase them back out of the city. So we're gonna see the first big fight coming out here.
Yeah, now the battle begins. Okay, the first wave of cavalry charge here.
Yeah, nice chaff coming out. Second wave of Hussar coming out. Of course, now BPJT has their cav ready to counter everything.
Oh, now the final base now is taken by the attackers, but got stopped.
Wow. Nice movement from BPJT around, going around the flanks of BZXW. Now, the whole team is going to wipe.
Yeah, they totally swept out all attackers on the map, and now it's totally outnumbered all of them. They successfully nailed the first wave attack here, and still have their supply point. And for now, the defenders still have like over 700 troops in the game, and for attackers, they got like 600 troops in the game. It's not a big gap from the number.
Yeah, but just now, I think BZXW took so much losses because those cav just go in without taking much losses.
Yeah.
The defenders, BPJT did so well because they knew that the attackers would have to commit inside, and they used their artillery advantage to make the units weaker before their cav just come in together and just clear out the whole team. So now BZW has to be very careful. A couple of low tier units now, a lot of blues. We don't see any more tier 5 troops coming out. So if they're not careful, BPJT can once again use that cavalry push to wipe them.
Yeah, BZW has to wait for their heroes to respawn, and they lost too many heroes in that wave of attack. Only like 3 still alive, and now it's 11. And so now here comes the second wave attack.
They're going to opt to go for the left-hand side, but of course BPJT with so much cavalry can react very quickly towards the BZXW push. I think a couple of BZXW heroes already on their final death. So we're going to see probably the last fight of the game. BZXW is successfully going to win this. They can push on to final base. But here comes the cav from the defenders.
Oh, nice charge. I think BZCW they tried to change adjust their plans to go for the final base, not for the supply point. But soon it seems like they got stopped by the BPJT, and the BPJT killed all of them here.
Yeah, again getting team wiped by those cavalry. I think this is probably game over for the attackers.
Yeah, BPJT performed so well in the game, and now only one hero for the attacker still alive.
Yeah. Okay, so a couple of BZW leaving the battle already.
Yeah.
Should be GG.
Yeah, should be GG. And the BPJT, as the defender, all of the city, and now they are just like enjoying the game now. And the unit gap is kind of large, like around 300 troops. So BPJT now is everywhere outside the city.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I think BZW did well on their first push, but their second push on the supply point was just a bit too slow. BPJT had that whole fight under control the entire time. So congrats to BPJT for taking game 1.
Yeah, so congratulations to BPJT who won the first game of this round. So let's see the MVP from BZCW. It's like the 在战野. He got 4 assists and killed 97 troops in the game. And the MVP from another side is BPJT 将神阿龟. He got like 2 kills, 2 deaths and 15 assists and killed 95 troops in the game.
Wow. This guy killed so much tier 5 and tier 4 troops.
Yeah, and also his teammates.
I think he's probably a cav player.
Yep, and I noticed that his teammates like killed over like 100 troops and even got 6 kills, 0 deaths, and 10 assists. Like you can see the player ranked in the bottom, like BPJT Cai Cai Tian got 6 kills, no deaths, 10 assists. That's so good, and all the whole team, BPJT, they performed so well in this game.
Yeah, I think they controlled the game from the start to the end down there. BZW just a bit too slow, a bit hesitant, probably nervous, knowing that they are facing BJT. But I think it's quite unusual to see them playing a little so conservative.
Yeah. So yeah, I think for the next game, the BZCW, this game is super important for them. They have to win, or they just gonna be eliminated from the stage. And yeah, it's very close to the finals. They just need to win 2 more games. Like they can have the chance to be in the finals, facing against the winner from the next game. Yeah.
I guess probably because they're a little bit inexperienced coming up to this stage, they must have been. I think they know themselves that they can perform so much better, because as an attacker you have to set the tempo of the fight. You know, the moment that you start to hesitate, take your time, be not able to commit, that's when the advantage goes back to the defenders. So unfortunately for BZW, they did not set the tempo fast enough. And BPJT just had it easy, I think, from the second fight onwards.
Yeah. The BPJT actually, they quite they just didn't be panic. They just won't be panic and pretty chill down for the attackers coming. And because even though they lost the point A, and the strategy is their plan is pretty solid and they know what to do. So yeah, they performed very well in this game. And the second game still on Harbor City. Yeah, again, but we're gonna switch sides. The BPJT gonna be the attack, or BZCW gonna be the, BPJT gonna be the attacker, and the BZCW gonna be the defender.
Right, and of course on the second fight down there on the supply, it was a beautiful rotation by maybe 3 or 4 cavalry coming from BPJT to eat up the flank of the the BZZW troops, and it just created a sandwich for them that they could not get out of that. The moment you let cavalry, coming from two sides, you're basically dead meat in the middle.
Yeah. I hope like BBJT can, like BZZW can win this game, and yeah, we want to see the game 3 on the field battle, the grassland.
For sure, definitely.
Yeah, it must be interesting because in this time of in this period, in this kind of time, those teams are pretty strong, and it will be pretty enjoyable to watch them play on the field battle, because field battle is totally different from siege battle. Field battle is you know where to hide. You have to fight all the time, and you need to take good use of your units and make your right decisions. And the siege towers, siege battle, sometimes you can hide some units. Even you can take a break out there to watch your enemy, to see your enemy where they are going. But for field battle, it's more direct, and you have to.
Correct. It's always the field battle is always the great equalizer. Both teams can play well in a siege battle mode. They have probably their own unique strategies. But field battle, it's really how well you work as a team, because there's so many points to cover. Both basically the map is equal for both sides. And yeah, I mean, if BZW is able to win on this defense, we can see them perform in the field battle as well. Yeah. So, but unfortunately, the way they perform is not looking too good for them right now. But I'm still hopeful.
Yeah. So BCCW, come on, they have to win this game, and it's a pretty good start for BPJT. They won the very first game of this round.
Yeah, BPJT is showing that they want to be in these finals down here. I really like this BPJT team. I mean, for them, the last match that they came out against CNC, they won on their defense against CNC, and I can't remember the last time CNC lost a game on the siege battle mode. CNC is just one of those teams that never loses. They always have a perfect record going through all the way to the finals, and BPJT was was the only team in a long while to bring them CNC to the game 3 in the field battle, and it was also quite close in the field battle. So this team is looking very strong. Momentum is on their side, but BZW is definitely no slouch. They're also one of those teams that I think they are outperforming expectations. So let's see whether they can recover and give them a good fight on the second wave. I think BPJT CAF movement is really, really good. It's nice to have those players in your team where they just understand when is the right timing for the cavalry to go in.
Yeah, I wish I had a chance to cooperate with this kind of those amazing guys and to play with them, and it must be pretty interesting.
Yeah, because actually as the cavalry player, you have so much responsibility, because normally when we see in our siege mode, we see people cavalry, it's always so slow. The fight already finished and then they come in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but you need to understand, that cavalry, if you time it very well with your infantry, it's devastating. It's even more devastating. So back in ECL, we always make fun of our cavalry players, like our spear and pike. Whenever their cavalry comes in too late, we'll make fun of them.
Okay.
A lot. Yeah. So they wake up, we will scold them. We'll say, especially those heavy players, they play the pikes, the shields, everything, right? If they just die on the front, they will be very, very angry if the cavalry don't come in.
Actually, I'm not a pretty good the cavalry users. I just it's just playing with using cavalries. Sometimes you need to really find a really good spot and a really good angle to charge. But for me, yeah, it's kind of trouble, because I need to pay close attention to my cavalries, because they are very easy to be killed, and you have to make sure that you charge in a right direction. So yeah, that is kind of hard for me. So I will just use some like the berserkers and those units. That is one of my favorite units to use.
Yeah, same like you. I think cavalry is so expensive to
Yeah,
use.
yeah, yeah.
So I don't really like to bring them. If not, I'll be broke.
Yeah. And normally I will
But
use some really tanky units to like to spam it everywhere inside of those points and to help my team. At least I made some contribution to my team.
yeah, I love playing like pike units because every time I can kill those cavalry, I'm like, yes, I'm making it hurt even more.
Yeah. So now I think both teams are ready. So we're gonna jump into the preparation stage.
Yep, game 2 gonna start. Will BZZW pull out something interesting to counter the BPJT attack? Of course, it looks like BPJT going for much less cavalry compared to the defense. I think defense they probably had about 10 or 11. Now just about 6 to 7 cavalry troops. So they want to take more infantry in, and BZZW matching a lot more of these Miralons troops. So these Miralons are very good against infantry. So still quite even. I think the key point for BZZW and for BPJT is how those Shenji Grenadiers work out, because that is the only special troop they can have. And without stalwarts, without shield maidens, those Shenji Grenadier bombs will be devastating on any front line.
Yeah.
And BZZW actually not just bring one, bring 2 Shenji Grenadiers.
Yeah, and also
So I think BZZW has a slight advantage on infantry if let's say the infantry fights together.
Yeah, and also we can notice that this time the BZZW their strategy is totally different from BPJT last time, because like BPJT they brought a lot of musket in the game like as their weapon, but for this time the BZZW they just like pick the 3 or 4 muskets at their choice when playing as the defender.
Right, I think it's going to be a bit difficult for BZZW to hold on and defend 3 towers, not having so many muskets. And of course, all those muskets that we saw from BPJT now all switch to spear and pike. So their hero killing ability is going to be very, very strong.
Yeah, so the game starts with the champ shed, and now the champs going for the artilleries on the wall, and that is kind of a normal start for the attackers who they have to make sure the siege tower got pushed.
Correct, and 2 mortars coming out from BPJT on the left hand side. BZZW without those muskets, it's very hard to destroy those mortars set up by BPJT. Of course, now we don't see a lot of cavalries yet coming out from the defenders, but those siege towers definitely going down pretty quickly.
Okay, now the BPJT using the mortars like try to attack the enemy on the wall. They found a really good angle to hide the mortar, and that is pretty good. At the same time, 1 more champs coming on the way. They have used like 3 champs already.
Yeah, BCCW also put the same mortars on the same spot, but because of all the muskets coming out, those mortars just fell like within 1 second. So,
that's
a dual blade coming out from the small gate. But BPJT was ready to counter those Fenrir packs. Not doing much for those Fenrir packs. Not doing much.
Yeah, they have a chance to kill the player from BPJT, one of them, but he successfully escaped.
Of course, BPJT putting down more mortars just below the wall, and it's putting a lot of pressure on BZZW, because every time their cavalries go up, they have to be careful where those mortars are, and they can just kill those cavalries very quickly. Okay, looks like the middle tower. Middle tower went down.
They have to wait for the second round.
Yep. So 10 minutes and 30 seconds left. Still a lot of time for the attackers to try to mount more their siege towers, but the left tower still about 70% HP. That's really good. Might actually mount.
Okay, now the BPJW, BPJT still waiting for the chance, waiting for their siege towers. Now they have BPJT have breached the wall, main gate. They have a chance to come in.
Yep. So, okay. Interestingly, BZZW still not putting down a lot of culverines. He still got maybe all the culverines got destroyed already by BPJT. While all the mortars on the right hand side for the attackers is still up, the defenders haven't been able to destroy those mortars quick enough, putting a lot of pressure on the right side.
Okay, now defenders doing pretty well at the beginning of the game. They destroyed all of those siege towers and make sure the attackers just cannot land it on the wall.
Of course, at this stage, these Martellatories do so much work for the attackers. You get an additional 30% HP bonus for the siege towers. I think normally you take about 12 hits of covering. With those Martellatories, you need to take about 15 hits of covering. So it helps. It takes even harder to knock down those siege towers. Now even more mortars coming from BPJT. They already used 13 artillery for the attackers to destroy those culverines.
Yeah, the attackers already used like 6 champs in the game, but still making no siege towers to the wall. So they have to. I think they have to speed up and to make sure they can land on the wall. That is a kind of very crucial first step for them.
Yep. Still 8 minutes. I think what we will see BPJT, the attackers, they probably at the 7-minute mark, if they are not able to mount 2 towers, they have to go through the main gate down there. So left tower, it's really close. The middle tower is very close, still full HP. BCW does not have any more artillery to deal with that middle tower is going to land up. So BPJT not only has the main gate, they're going to have this middle tower option to come up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, now 1 siege tower mounted, and the 2 are on the way. Let's say if they can make 1 more siege towers.
Yep, I think if the right tower or the left tower mounts as well, it's going to be very dangerous for the defenders already to defend the A point.
Okay, left got destroyed, and yeah, only 1 got pushed. So BPJT, I think they just won't push let all of them go through the siege tower because it's kind of too risky to do that.
Yeah, for sure. Now BPJT has to set the momentum for the next fight. Coming up on the siege tower is going to be a huge choke point, but I don't see a lot of BZZW troops to defend. They still have infantry both on the left and right stairs. Now BZZW has to decide, which side do they give up, or do they just give up the A point completely?
Okay, from the main gate, the BPJT, so many troops are coming through the main gate to the internal city.
Right, they're going to check out how BCCW actually reacts to their movement on the main gate. Now, of course, now shifting back to the tower, it's going to be fake left, right, center, where is the opening? So this is what BPJT is looking for. They're going to try to look for whether or not BZW over-rotates to a certain point and go up to take the site that has less troops.
Okay, they are pretty ready inside of the siege tower, waiting for the good timing to charge into the site. But we can see actually the defenders, they are all on the wall, like they are hide there.
Yep. Oh, BPGT really going through, turning up left. They want to do a three-way push in fact, but then the siege tower still not. The guys from the siege tower not pushing in yet. Okay, now they're pushing in with the Miralons.
Yeah, pretty good charge actually. They use Mortar as the front line and the Iron Reapers, and they go up to do some charge here.
Yeah, unfortunately, BZW just choosing to clear out the main gate instead of the defending the wall down here.
Okay.
Of course, I think. Ooh, this is a wow! So much pressure for the defenders now.
Yeah.
They're split up very thinly now.
Oh, they are taking over. They are taking the point A, and the defenders go to like push back to their point.
Oh, Shenji's exposed for the defenders. Okay, so BPJT found the opening, going through the main gate, turning up left, forcing the BZCW to in chaos on the wall itself, and therefore now the A point will go down comfortably for the attackers. It's going to be additional 4 more minutes. Now there's 8 minutes left on the clock. I think in terms of unit count and hero count, it's pretty even from both sides. So how will BPJT attack the map now they have the A point? Time is definitely on their hands, but will they, use the mortars to do more damage, or will they just be like BCCW does last game, try to take the point with all the infantry?
It seems like the BCCW knows like there are some artilleries on the wall there, so they just retreat from the supply point. Oh, it seems like they just like directly retreat from the supply point, so that's gonna be pretty easy to take for BPJT. It's kind of surprised actually. They just totally abandoned this supply point. Actually, that is a kind of very crucial point in the map.
Yeah, with this, basically they are giving away the home map for the attackers. So, I think that what they want to do is try to force the fight on the main point down here. But mind you, now BPJT has the full control over the map. They still have a healthy amount of artillery and mortars that can put more pressure on defenders. And now, the defenders, BCW, has to be very careful, because if their heroes fall down too fast, we all know that the respawn area is very far from the final base. So the next fight is going to be crucial for both sides. Shenji Grenadiers coming out from the attackers, bombing the setup on the middle. More mortars coming from BPJT. They want to use this artillery to take more space, to take more ground, to push BCCW into a corner whereby they can just rotate and find a weakness and go for final base. BPJT playing it very well so far. Shifting to the left-hand side, they see an opening on the supply point. That's going to be the next objective. The trebuchet coming out in the middle, trying to delay the rotation of the BZCW troops. And now BPJT has 15 men across onto the left side, while BZCW only has probably about 7, not even their full team over yet. Of course, we're going to see a big fight coming out on the supply point down here. I see Imperial Pike Guards already advancing. Now, wow, BPJT looks like the first team to reach the supply point.
Oh, that's it. They just like brought a lot of chopper to BZZW, the defender, because like they just cannot lose the point, just cannot lose the supply point.
Now the defenders is going in one by one. BPJT has such a strong setup on the supply point down here.
Yes.
They have 30 seconds before the next wave of the defenders come out. If they're able to control this supply point, I think it's very difficult for the defenders to come back into this game.
Yeah, the defender now lost too many troops on defending the supply point, and so many heroes died. So for them, it's kind of dangerous for defending the final base there.
Yep, of course, all is not lost. Now BZZW, their heroes are coming out again, one by one. You know, they need to make sure that they're going together as a team and not just die unnecessary, just like what the Spear just did down there. Okay, but a lot of heroes of the BPJT are low in health. So BZW trying to go through with their cavalry.
Nice charge.
Still, the reinforcement from BPJT doing very well. Now BZW has all their Dagger X onto the point. Now they're going to clear out the attackers on the supply point.
Oh, but the good news, is that like BPJT still got around like 800 troops. They just need to take time to come back.
Definitely, even though I think now BPJT has an advantage in terms of the unit count and quality.
Yeah.
But remember, now it's just left 3.5 minutes. You know, they have to wait another 30 seconds for everyone to spawn in and to take this final point. If they don't do it before the 2.5 minute mark, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to take the final base.
Yeah, the time is not enough for BPJT actually. They wait for a hero respond and also need to make sure they can take over the final bay as soon as possible. Only 3 minutes left.
Correct. I think at this stage, you know, BZW can just give up everything on the supply point. You know, use their final troops on this final base itself. You know, they cannot allow BPJT to take a very good setup on the final base down here. They have to push everyone up. Even though BZW has a lot of cavalry, mind you that BPJT has still a couple of artillery left. So again, BPJT, no time is not on their side. You know, they're going to take the first fight. Hussars charging through, killing 2 units, 2 heroes immediately. And now BZW is going to come back with the Cav on, you know, big fight coming ahead.
That is the reason why they brought so many cavalries. Yeah, so nice charge there.
Nice charge coming in as a team itself. You know, all this entire backline is going to fall. But what?
Oh, from the back you can see.
Yeah. They actually got one Cav around the back. And looks like that cavalry just clean up all of the defenders' troops.
Oh, only 300 troops left for defenders. And now only 8 heroes alive. And around the final base, the attackers actually is taking over this point.
Correct, and attackers still have a mortar, halberds, 2 Dagger X lancers down there. You know, is this 2-3 heroes, you know, able to do anything? 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Oh, it's so
BPJT,
close.
You know, yep.
So close to win. And let's
This
see
spear
if they
doing
can.
so well.
Let's see if they can kill this guy as soon as possible to make sure they can.
Correct, but there's 2 short swords coming out from the defenders. You know, can he touch the base? Okay, he's still on the base. He's still on the base. 2 short swords still on the base, you know. There's still time for the defenders to come back out. They're coming out with some more Cav of their own. The defender still has a good chance of taking down this final base. Holding this final base.
Oh, just one step away to go the last 1 minute, and there's still so many heroes from the defenders are still alive, and they just keep going inside of the final base to see if they can like take the still hold the point. Oh, 1 step to go. Congratulations to BPJT. Oh, what a pity! Like the BZW, yeah, BZW is so close to hold the point, and 1 last minute. And the MVP from BPJT, the winner side is Feng Feng. He got 3 kills, 2 deaths, and 12 assists, and killed 94 troops in the game.
Very impressive, especially coming from a Pro X to get MVP. For the Spear, Yue Hua from BPJT, 8 kills, 2 deaths, 12 assists.
Yeah, and the MVP from BZCW is 狼图腾的狗. He got 5 kills, 2 deaths, 6 assists, and killed 78 troops in the game.
Oh, pretty impressive. I think the assist numbers from BPJT is just so much better. BZW, probably because they have a lot more heavies compared to BPJT. You know, their heroes just die a little bit faster compared to BPJT.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, this is probably the last we'll see from BZW.
Mhm. Yeah, very close game actually for the last game for this game, and the BPGT, but they performed so good and the strategy clear and they played like a really like a team and so good.
Yeah, BPJT is really doing well, even though there was a slight mistake on that final supply, not able to take it down as fast as they like it. But still, when the fight matters most on the final base, you know, they made it count. They stood together, worked together as a team, and that flank, that cavalry coming from the back down there, I think that just
Yeah.
won them the fight at the end.
Yeah, yeah. Even though BCCW they lost the game, but still, like it's kind of very impressive how they use the cavalries and they made a really good charge and like dealt with those enemies at the beginning and also for the final base. It's very impressive. Very good at using cavalries. So that's very good. And yeah, I think that we can take a 5 minutes break and we'll come back later and watch the game between CNC and YYY. That is the finals for the upper bracket. So see you guys 5 minutes later. See you guys. Yo, welcome back. And yeah, still me, Brad, with Dex. And the second game is CNC and the YYY, yeah. So we must be waiting for this game for quite a long time. Like the two very strong team together. I think we don't have to make any introduction to CNC, right? People's pretty familiar with them. Like the 6-time champion, and this time they go for the like the 7-time champion. And like the Legolas, their captain seems like pretty exciting for this game because like YY is a very, very, very good team.
Yep, YYY is it's the best players in terms of rank, in terms of from LA and JC, mainly from JC. So the commander is Si, which if you guys remember for the audience, the last season of CBL, the team called TKT, he was the commander of that team. So this round of CBL, he has a new roster, trying to take a lot of good players from around the Frontier server, and let's see how he's going to push CNC in this best of 5 matchup that we have. Yeah. So again, for the audience, we're not going to have 3 matches. We're going to have 5 matches potentially. I think it's something that the devs did an amazing job, especially for the winners bracket. We want to see the best teams, having more rounds against each other. So, yeah, first team that gets the 3 wins will move up into the finals.
Yeah, so this is kind of really good thing. Best of 5, and what's two of the strongest team in CBL, and we can see the map ban pick first actually. The CNC they banned Grog Castle, and the YYY banned Harbor City, and they picked the Hidden City, and also CNC picked the Hidden City. Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah, Hidden City is not a common map for CNC to pick. So for them to pick, they definitely have been working on this map for a long time, waiting for one of these important matches to bring out the map. So we're going to see new strategies come out. Of course, no one wants to see Hidden City 4 times in a row, right? So for the first 2 games, it's going to be this Hidden City, and we're going to have a new ban and pick for the games 3, 4, and 5.
Yes, so this time we'll have like 2 rounds of ban pick, and for units and also for maps, because like this is the best of 5.
So CNC protecting the Halberdier Sergeants, YYY protecting the Dagger X Lancers. As we saw from the last game, this Dagger X Lancers is such a strong cavalry unit, especially for the leadership cost. As a tier 4 cavalry, I think they even beat some of the tier 5 cavalry. They're on par. CNC choosing to ban Chevaliers. I think they hate this unit now after BBJT won them the last round. And they banned the Stalwarts. And for YYY, they banned the Falconetti Gunners, the Halberds, tier 3, and the Zakarian Militia. So based on this unit ban, I really like what YYY is doing, because they know that CNC was the one that actually created the 4-4-3 meta, which is 2 tier 4 troops mixed in with that Halberdiers, the tier 3 Halberdiers. And they are very strong with the Zakarian Militia, the 4 boys. So YYY see definitely wanting to take out what CNC is most comfortable with, forcing them to bring out something new for this series.
Yeah, but that's also what we love to say, right? Like to say CNC bring something new, because like in the past actually the CNC always can bring something new to the map, and we're very happy to say they play on a totally on a new map. That's they rarely to pick the Hidden City, and that will be good.
Yep.
And also this map is very interesting, because it's like its name, Hidden City, because it has a lot of buildings inside, and for both sides they can pick a different position to hide their units, and go for the supply point, and that is very interesting. This map actually, you can have a lot of strategies in it.
Correct. I think for a lot of maps like Harbor City, it's more standardized. The map has been played for so long. But for Hidden City, you have 4 supply points on the map. You have 3 points, the A point on that wall, You know, you have that B point in the center of the map. Of course, the final base, you know, you have like a fort within a fort, a castle within a castle. So there's so much angles for you to attack, and it's not easy for both the attackers and defenders to find an opportunity to fight each other. So a lot of scrappy fights, and when the fight happens in such narrow pathways, it's devastating. You know, you can't really control anything. So it's, you know, who knows what's going to happen. Of course, without those Falcon 90 gunners, we're going to see probably A point going to be not so defended. And then we're going to see more of the fights on the supply points inside the castle itself.
Yeah. And in this map, the point B actually is, it depends on how quick you can take over the supply point next to it. Because in this map, the supply point is very important. Or you have to go really far away from the city and to your original supply point. It's pretty far.
Yep. It's very fun. I think for the attackers, you know, the idea is how they're going to hold on to a supply point so that they can mount the next attack. Now, of course, for the defenders, you know, you have to be very careful losing any supply points to the attacking team, because it's very hard to, like again, as I said, it's such a narrow corridor, and you can't really force the attackers into a choke zone. It's hard for the defenders. You know, I think this is probably one of the most played maps in terms of like when we go for rank. Yeah, so we see a lot of chaos happening on this map itself.
Yeah, and also in this map, the final base is kind of in a surrounded by walls. It's not in a pretty open area, not like the harbor city. The final base, you can have a really a pretty wild and plain space to let your coverage charge. It's kind of inside of the city, and so for defenders, it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing.
Right, because what I like about the final base point is that attackers, there's 4 ways to enter the final base itself. You know, that you have the one from the left, you have one spot coming from the middle, and of course on the right hand side. So there's so many points for attackers to pick their choice to go through. But again, for the defenders, it's also easy as long as they work as a team to push out the attacker. So I think we'll see what YYY specializes in is team fights. As you can see from their performance so far, every time they get into a team fight, you know, they're so aggressive with their hero killing.
Yeah, it's like
whereas CNC is like a Tai Chi. You know, they have like a bit of a kung fu.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of like every time they are pressurized, you know, they kind of play in a way that they revert the aggression back to the attackers.
That is, you made a really precise metaphor to their gameplays actually. Yeah, I think you are right, because the CNC, they are more good at I don't know, just dealing with their enemies step by step and making their strategies, and the YY is really good at the team fights, and that is they all of them, they have their own zone and to play the game, and that is very interesting to say.
Yeah, and of course, YY, this team, if you look at the list, so many top players. One thing to know, we also have our famous Ta Lonker joining YY this season. So you know, it's one of those players that always outperforms.
Yeah, so this round is kind of an all-star game, right? For both sides, famous players, strong players, and the same match, and that is pretty exciting. Oh, now 2 teams are ready. Let's jump into the preparation stage to say their choices for this game.
Okay, of course, we see the famous Nafangas on the YY side using by Levi. You know, he's just one of those players that is so good on the Nafanga. I think he's the best Nafanga player that we've seen so far. The way that he attacks and uses those Nafangas is devastating. Now CNC, in order to destroy those Nafangas, they opted to bring 3 Shenji Grenadiers. Now that is something very interesting. I've never seen CNC bring up so many Shenji Grenadiers before. So that's going to be their special unit. And of course, YYY and CNC both, in terms of the compositions, pretty similar. Of course, I think for YY, they opt to bring in 3 Iron Reaper to be the infantry killers, whereas CNC, they bring more of that halberd sergeants.
Yeah, why they brought more like the Iron Reapers to the game, and it's
so you really see from this lineup, CNC wants to be able to sustain the aggression from YY, whereas YY bring those aggressive charging troops like Iron Reapers, Palace Guards, all these kind of charging troops, where CNC bring the bracing troops, which can deal with those charges effectively. Now, game 1, best of 5. Let's see how the teams are set up.
Yeah, I believe like before the game, Legolas must have taken
shower 2 times,
2 times or 3 times. Yeah, I'm sure he's pretty nervous about this game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even though whoever loses this series, there's still a chance to meet again in the finals.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe like he even wants to like extend the loading phase and take 1 more shower again. Yeah, just a joke. Yeah.
So even the lineup, we see CNC, they have 5 heavy classes, YY also have about 5. Pretty similar, both sides, of course. Oh, so CNC did not bring their dual blade. I know they have this guy, 我不是双刀.
Yeah, I just
the one that's always been one of their, that's been carrying them, being very, very, very strong in all the knockout games. They didn't bring that for this. I don't know, maybe he was busy.
Okay, now the very first game start of this round. The Sensei is an attacker, the red side, and the YY is a defender in this very first game, the blue side.
So YY definitely on the loader. I saw a lot of coverings pick. So they have the option of course, shooting down these siege towers with the coverings, but it's very difficult to do so because the siege tower is not like Harbor City where all towers are in the front. You have this tower on the left-hand side, which is very hard to deal with as a defender.
Yeah, sometimes you will be like distracted from one of them, and the enemy will just like make one of them to the wall.
Yep, and already we see, I don't know if the OB can catch this, but 3 coverings being set up by YY on the back over here. Oh, did we see a disconnect coming from YY?
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, game's still going on. Those coverings there, of course, dealing with the siege towers in the front, but those siege towers, they don't have such a long time to reach the wall compared to Harbor City. Now, one of the siege towers already about 50% HP, the other one's almost full. So I think CNC will be able to mount these towers pretty easily down here.
Yeah, very effective. Very quick. And they have mounted I believe they have mounted 3 siege towers. Just like in the very first wave they made it. So
why the defenders have no choice. They have to just fall back. Even though they wasted kind of like 5 artillery for it. That's not ideal for them at this stage here.
Yep.
A point should fall down easily for the attackers.
So yeah, I think the defender, they made a really good choice because like no need to sacrifice too many units on the very first point. So they just gave up and gave it to CNC. It's kind of a free gift to take.
Yep, and you can see the strategy from CNC down here, very disciplined. All going up from the left and the middle tower here. Not wanting to be exposed, moving together as a team. This is what we see from the best teams here, they work together. You know, they practice this map a million times. So they know what each other are doing, and they know how important it is to stay together as a team.
Yeah.
Now more mortars coming out from the defenders. Why?
Two guys just like jump off from the wall, try to kill the YY players around the main gate. But the YY players, also his teammates coming on the way, try to support him.
Yep, they wanted to probably kill the Shenji Grenadiers, but dying, Tao Lonka dying.
Yeah, it's a very
now-
good. Yeah.
The attackers, CNC, you can see they're all moving to the right hand side of the map down here. You know, this is probably because the supply point is more exposed to artillery shots.
Yep. Oh, they're all on the right.
Oh, Legolas using the mortar on the wall. I don't know if that was planned or not. Oh, that's actually planned. That was a nice trap because some of the mortars will miss and hit those mortar spots.
Oh.
Okay, more artillery coming out from CNC. Now the whole entire right wall is filled with mortars and ballistas from the CNC side.
So Sensei is still taking their time and didn't take any rush to the internal city.
Correct. You know, one thing Legolas shared with us when he joined us on the commentating, he said, you know, every time you want something, you have to sacrifice something of your own. If you want something from the enemy, you have to sacrifice something on your own. So be it if you want the position of the defenders, as an attacker, you have to sacrifice your artillery. So now what his team is doing is using this artillery advantage that they have to push YYY out of their defending zone.
Legolas
So now
made
they're
some
moving
really
down.
good, made some really good sayings all there.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
now get close to the supply point, already taken it.
Yeah, first supply point not being contested by YYY itself. Now the entire CNC has a setup on the right supply point. And they're looking to see how YY reacts to this because now basically CNC has control of half the map.
Yeah, they can actually come from like the three entrances, like from the stairs, from main gate, and also from the supply point that they have.
Right, and if you look at the composition of CNC, a lot of halberd sergeants, forte brachio, modals, you know, this is very hard to break through. Ooh, one ballista killing a hero of YYY, that's advantage for the attackers. Now they have the option to push in now, and I think they will utilize it. Already the modals moving forward with the Mirilan guards, halberdier sergeants bracing together with the modal, protecting each other. You know, they are trying to force YY out and try to engage them because their composition is all about bracing. You know, it's about absorbing as much pressure as they can. So already coverings put down by CNC. Another hero falling to the ballista. Oh, this guy is very accurate.
Yes, that's. So Sensei still there. Be very patient.
Correct. It's very, very patient. That setup that they have of CNC is so strong, you know, it's very scary to go in. Of course, YY is a little bit spread out, you know, some of the troops hiding even in the main gate down there, some on the B point, and most of them on the left supply point. So I think YY is also being very good, not being pushed out too much. They still believe that they can fight CNC. They want CNC to come a little bit closer to the B point Because now we see the. Okay, interesting try why they bring out the X Raiders, because this is the type of games we will see from both teams, trying to take out some units, troops. Or CNC choosing to eat up the troops on the middle down here. We're going to see dagger extensors coming through. Wow, there's no pikes to defend those shield maidens down there. Nafan guards already, the Shen from YY getting knocked out by the Shenji Grenadiers of CNC.
Okay, and
now
also
cavalry going to charge in, but of course we see so much pikes down there, not going to do any much damage down here. Now CNC has a unit advantage in the middle. Of course, YYY, you know, have Hussars and Cav ready to come out on the second wave to deal with all of these troops from CNC. CNC has the momentum. Now they're going to push straight for B point.
Oh, that is a very good play by CNC. They use their Nafa, they use their Modal and to stop all of the cavalries and kill all of the defenders there, and totally outnumbered them.
So B point is already not able to defend from YY. YY wants to kill more troops in the center down there. Okay, nice Hussar charge coming out from YY, but the Forte Brachiots are still down there, you know, preventing the Hussars from moving through, and the Outriders behind from CNC surprisingly doing well against this setup with the Forte Brachio in front. Again, a Shenji Grenadiers from YY going to fall down to those CNC push. So now CNC has a huge advantage going into the final base of YY. Now CNC played that perfectly.
CNC now is taking that advantage in the game and own 2 supply points. And very close to the final base. And now for the defender, it's kind of like a really terrible situation for them. They need to like get back themselves in time and get prepared for the upcoming attack from the attackers.
Yeah, for sure. I think the hero count is not looking good for YY down here. Just 28 heroes left compared to 41 of CNC lives. You know, CNC only 3 heroes dying on the first push down there, whereas YY already has 4 heroes, you know, on their final death, on their final lives.
Yeah, and I think for now the number of units is kind of the gap is kind of huge, because like the CNC leading 300 troops, around 300 troops in the game, and for those kind of good games, that could be a really huge gap. So yeah, it's a very challenging situation for YY to defend their final base. Sure.
This is very, very hard for the defenders. Of course, we never ever count out YY because they can swing the battle with their hero killing ability. Now the question is, will they be able to find a weakness in this CNC setup?
The CNC is getting closer to the final base. They are like in front of the gate of the final base, and they're pretty ready to go inside.
Correct. Inching forward. CNC is just inching forward with those halberdier sergeants, you know, creating that initial first front line for them. Of course, Motas behind, again, you know, trying to do more damage to YY. Now, the key thing here is that who's going to be able to take that final setup, that position on that final base first? Is CNC be able to move closer? CNC just moving closer and closer, you know, just ignoring the final base from now, you know, trying to force YY to retreat further away from the final base. But now the heroes are jumping in.
Oh, they pretended
so YY has to be... Yeah, they pretended to go for the back, but now they're going in straight into the center.
Yeah.
Oh, those Hussars were able to get through before the Forte Brachio brace. That is a huge win. Now the Hussars come from YY, coming back, but just charging straight into a Halberds and Forte Brachio.
CNC did the thing quite good, because like the same time their cavalry is charging inside and taking over the final base. Still, they left like 2 or 3 squads like in the gate and to defend the enemies to come on in. That's that detail, I think, that make them be the champion team.
Yeah. That detail, oh my god, you see the thing? The moment the cavalry charge forward, they're already expecting YY to charge back with their cavalry.
Yeah.
And immediately the pike players understand what the enemy is about to do, and they already had their Forte Brasher and Modal set up. So wow, this is dominant performance by CNC.
Yeah, and this time the Legolas is the MVP. Yeah, one
showing
kill.
everyone who's boss.
Yeah, 1 kill, no deaths, 14 assists, 92 troops killed in the game. And then the player on the second place is got 7 kills and 8 assists. And also so many players performed so well. Actually, the whole team of CNC performed so well in the game. And let's see the MVP from another side. It's 天下会尿袋 That is a strange name. Yeah, he got one assist and killed 62 or 65 troops in the game. So for this game, I think the Sensei they performed really well, especially at the beginning of the game. I think that's saved a lot of time for them. They can take over the point A in a really quick way. They can make time for them to to implement all of their plans to take over the other points, and they just step by step and always make the right decisions.
Every player did their role perfectly. Those pikes, those modal, those halberd sergeants, they work together as a team. Everyone has their roles executed well enough, so well that YY was just not able to deal with that kind of setup. When you're facing an enemy like that, you just can't rely on individual skill anymore, because you're facing a 15-man strong team. So unfortunately for YY, I don't know, their strategy for their defense just didn't go to plan.
Yeah. But anyway, that is only the very first game of this round. It's best of 5. So YY still can have time to take a deep breath and then come back again for the second map, for the second match. And the map is still the same, Hidden City, but this time they will sweep sides. And the Sensei gonna be the defender this time, and YY gonna be the attacker. I'm kind of curious that how Sensei gonna defend on this map. I think their strategy must be pretty interesting, because we can see in the game, we mentioned, so many details from CNC. The one taking over 1 point, they will left they will leave 1 or 2 squad of units to defend the gate and to prevent the enemy to come in to interrupt. And so many details, and they know how to use their cavalries in a right way, and also their infantry is always set up in the right place.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, YY has always been much stronger on the attack due to how their team is set up. So I think YY has a good chance of coming back against CNC. Of course, they have to be a little bit more creative in what they want to do, because in order to fight against that CNC defense, those infantry against the CNC, even I don't have any ideas to do.
Yeah, but also lost 1 game is not you can take it it's not a bad thing, because for this kind of game you want to take a revenge, and it also can encourage YY to perform much better than before. I think that is also a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. I think
it's kind of like a
warm up. Yeah, I think it's a warm up, but CNC looking very, very strong, showing again why they are 6-time CBL champion. They play CB the way CB Conqueror's Blade is supposed to play. The way that they set up their troops, the way that each hero is helping each other, the way that they're using their units to their own advantage. I'm learning so much as I watch them. CNC is just one of those teams whenever they play, you have to tune in, because no matter what kind of opponents they face, you will learn something from the way and the way that they approach the game.
Yeah, the sensei is just like so good. But I also like wish I could say some team they can like beat down sensei, like beat down this kind of monster in CBL. And really looking forward to say that. I think YY still have a chance to do that.
Yep, definitely. I mean, you still have to win 3 games to advance. So, yeah, let's see. I think the good thing about having so many games against each other is that it's now down to the commanders, right? You know, can they can still adjust the way that they play each and every match. You know, so each and every match can be different, and I'm hoping that it will be different, especially when we see 2 top commanders, Nicholas and Siyi, come up against each other. There's gonna be. I'm predicting that YY will probably change up their strategy for the next game.
Yeah. The game is pretty fair because like both sides they can pick their own map, especially for this kind of situation, like the 2 teams pick the same map and just switch sides, and they have a chance to fight back.
So
yeah, all members are ready, I think. So
I think all members are ready.
Yeah, I think we can jump into the game really quick to see the very second game of this round.
Right, the game's gonna start.
Yeah, come on, YY.
Come on, YY. Come back to the series.
Yeah. Maybe also that is the like lost the very first game is also a strategy, like make the sensei like be like chilling out and take some relax, and they can have a chance to because like for good teams like it's not just about like the actual plays, it's also about like mentality things, like those strategy and those war in the mental world.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, so you see from why they took out their Shenji Grenadiers and now putting him on Nafan guards. Whereas CNC still playing 2 Shenji Grenadiers, but changing out one of that special unit for the Nafan guards. Now, interesting, you can see from CNC using the green pike shield units, and then of course the Iron Cap Arquebuser, the green gunners. Maybe that's going to be important for them. Because the main thing for CNC and what makes them so strong is how they use those Fortebraccio pikemen, halberdier sergeants, you know, to deal with what the enemy throws at them. Yeah.
And for this game, the YY, they just like got no way to back, and they have to win this game. Because like if they lost the game again, the Sensei will have the match point, and they have a great chance to win.
They can just sweep YY off of this series.
Yeah. Like a lot behind the 2 games, that will be like not easy to catch up again. Because like we have like watched a lot of like sports games, esports or traditional sports, and the best of 5. And if you lost the 2, that will be not a good news for you. So YY have to win this game.
Yeah, this is definitely important for YY to get back into this series. Because we see CNC, will they actually defend on the wall itself? Already one covering going down by CNC to deal with the towers.
Yeah. Pushing Sage. Let's say if CNC can like take down those Sage towers really quickly, or they just like let them finish that in the really first round.
Yeah, so more coverings, cannons coming out from CNC to deal with the towers. Now compared to CNC, YY is not putting as many mortars on down below to deal with those coverings. So CNC has a chance to actually take down or bring some of these towers down to a very low health. Now the left tower already on 30%, health. So the left tower looks like it's going to go down. Middle tower, already on half health.
Yeah. And the artilleries are still there, so they can just keep shooting.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, it looks like CNC will be able to take down all of the towers on the first wave.
Yeah. At the same time, YY using mortars to attack the heroes on the wall and also those artilleries. And then one siege tower is down. Oh, two siege towers down, and only one left.
Two siege towers down.
Yeah, only one left, and the Sims gonna be destroyed very quickly. Only one step away. Let's see if they can make it.
Now this is big for YY if they get. Wow!
Oh,
Okay, so
so
CNC just
close.
breaking down all the 3 towers. Now
Yes.
it's gonna take another 30 seconds for the next set of towers to spawn.
Mhm.
And of course, on Hidden City, you don't have that long of a timer compared to Harbor City.
Yeah.
Hidden City just 10 minutes, Harbor City is 12 minutes. So each time you take down a tower, it's really delaying the game
Yeah.
for the attacker.
Yeah. At the same time, YY not just waiting for their siege tower respawn, also using the battering ram trying to breach in the main gate.
Yep, so the main gate already go down for YY. That's an option for them to go through, but it's a very difficult spot to go through. It's like a choke point.
Yeah, second round siege tower. Actually, the left siege tower now is below like the 50% of health, and it's not in a really good situation. And the artillery is still there. Let's see if CNC can still bring down those siege towers again in this round.
Oh, one CNC
Players got
hero
killed.
died. Okay, so CNC already using about 10 of their artillery, 10 of their 15 artillery on the wall itself, 11 now, in fact.
Yeah.
So definitely they want to use all their artillery to delay these tower pushes as much as they can.
Yeah. They clearly know the essence of like the game. Like you need to like compete with the time too, not just like with your enemies. You need to make sure your enemies will be having a lot of trouble when pushing siege tower or doing anything in the game.
Yep. So, okay, interestingly,
Seems
the
like
left tower is up already.
And the seems like the middle tower also connected to the wall. Okay, so since let's say if they just like abandon their point or just like defend the enemies on the wall, because like they spent like they kind of used up all of the artillery to defend the siege tower.
Yep. They use everything already on the siege tower. So now, of course, in this position itself, you know, it's still not easy for the attackers to go up from the 2 avenues. Defenders can just still control the wall and the A point and take the fights on the wall.
Yes.
So now we see the Nafan guards coming out from CNC. This looks like definitely they want to hold the wall, and they are just waiting for YY to come up onto the wall to get the first fight.
Yeah, 6 minutes. That is not an easy thing to do to hold the points. The time is very enough for YY. So since they still need to like hang on there pretty long.
Yeah, now YY is amassing more people on the left hand side using the mortars to try to make CNC move out of their defensive position. So of course those mortars connecting and hitting a lot of the infantry of CNC.
Attackers still have 16 artilleries.
Yeah, the mortar shot almost killed the Nafan guards of CNC. Now I think CNC, because most of their troops are low, they have to go down and heal. And this is a chance for YY to go up and take the A point.
Five minutes. Since he plays back to the wall and try to defend the enemies around the siege tower to prevent.
Right, the
them
left
from coming
tower
in.
is up already, but they're getting stuck on the tower itself. Nafan
Oh,
does
the
have CNC
Nafa guards,
rotating
yeah.
through.
This is the heaven
Now this is
place
just a barbecue.
for Nafa guards. Yeah, all enemies cuddling together, and they just need to shoot and burn everything down.
Correct, but then because the main gate, they don't have the Nafan guards, YY is just mowing down those defensive troops in the middle. Of course, the attackers have the advantage of trebuchets, which they're going to use right now. But oh, a Shield Maiden just dying on YYY side. Now, YY really sacrificing a lot of heroes and troops to try to hold on the wall itself. Oof. Everyone on the A point from the attackers just getting wiped.
The YY is so determined to they are determined to like take over the point A.
Yep, so of course, because of CNC's rotation, the left side actually fell down. Now, of course, ooh.
Oh, one player from YY already like they entered into the point A. Since they came back to stop the capturing that.
Yeah, let me see. Still, YY does not have control of the A point itself, and there's just 3 minutes left. Now, of course, this is a good position for YY to use their trebuchets and hold CNC on the choke point down there. But again, because most of their heroes died on the A point, it's still taking them so long to rescue their friends on the wall. And CNC again, once again, wiping out the YYY heroes and troops.
Oh, since they now still control the situation on the wall. They're waiting for the next round of attack. 2 minutes 40 seconds. They now are leading the number of units, and also they waste a lot of time for attackers.
Yeah. I don't know why it's not even opting to go up the right side. They already had the siege tower mounted on, but they're still not attacking from that side. This is very weird.
Yeah, and also it's very close to the point A, and no one's at point A.
Correct. They can even just send one hero up on the to capture A, but they're not doing that, choosing to fight again. Now the left hand side of YY going up, and the middle also going together. But again, important thing for YY is, are they able to take out those special troops of the CNC like the Shenji Grenadiers?
Okay. Okay, now it seems like still like there's so many defenders out there that block the way from getting inside. Not that easy to go. And the 1 minute and 30 seconds. And the
left-hand side, YY has the Nafan guards, but still, I think YY can get this point if they're able to clear all the defenders on the wall.
Oh, it seems like they're gonna take over the point A. Oh, the defenders came back to stop the capturing here. The jumper, like around into the points. Oh, now they're gonna leave the point A. Will be YY's.
Correct, and YY, the Forte Brashio on the main gate is already gone. YY can just go through, but again, they only probably has about 4 minutes left. Yep, that's correct. So YY has to play this, continue the momentum up, and force CNC into a bad position.
Yeah, but it's also very challenging because like only less than 4 minutes and to take over the point B and the 2 supply points, and now are still CNCs.
Yep, and now CNC has all their cavalry out to defend. YY just having one dual blade down there with the Hussar, but you probably die very quickly.
YY need to like get back themselves.
They need to make something happen. They need to make something happen now.
Yeah.
They don't have time, and
yeah, because the time is not enough.
They should just go through the main gate. Yes, they found an opening through the main gate because there isn't any Forte Brascio down there.
Yeah.
They need to quickly clean this up.
They kind of bet everything on this wave of attack.
Yep, they have to bet everything now. Everyone has to be together,
Oh,
Will we see
the cavalry charge here?
Cherry charged in, of course, but CNC, going back with more cavalry of their own. Of course, YY has those pike units down, ready to set up. Down here, Hussar, nice Hussar charge coming up from YYY.
Oh, nice
Again,
charge
CNC,
here.
nice charge from the Hussars. Again, that probably killed a lot of troops.
Yeah, but for both sides, still like around the 15 heroes still alive.
Wow. CNC with another cav coming in through the main gate, but they're not able to clear YY out of their main gate.
Oh, it's pretty chaotic now. And less than 2 minutes, the YY has no choice to directly go to the point B, try to take over the point as soon as possible.
Yeah, so I think this is where YY really comes to life because the hero killing ability is one of the best teams that we've seen down here. But still CNC, those heroes on the B point has no more troops.
Oh, we still have like so many heroes here inside of the point B. And the time is ticking, talking. And so YY needs to speed up. So now they have taken over the supply point.
Yep, they have taken over supply point, but crucially, the supply point got interrupted by CNC.
Oh, that is bad to say. 1 minute to go again for the point. They're very close to take. Let's see if they can make it again.
Alright, but important thing is that CNC has 13 heroes alive compared to YY's 6 heroes.
Yeah. Okay, now the CNC kind of basically they already won the game.
Yeah, basically they won.
Yeah, won this game.
Okay, so we saw glimpses of YYY, showing their superiority when things get chaotic. They are usually much better on that, but again, CNC, covering each other, timing the cav charge to perfection. And they are gonna take game 2 of this series.
Yes. So CNC, after this game, they have the match point 2-0. Only need to win one more game. They can win this round of game.
Yeah.
So congratulations to CNC again. And the MVP from YY is Levi. He got 2 kills, 3 deaths, and 7 assists, and killed 86 troops in the game. And also
Levi again, always the MVP for YYY.
Yeah. Let's bet if the MVP is if it's Legolas, because he's the MVP for the last game. But since the whole team are pretty strong, so it's not strange to say any one of them be the MVP.
Correct. CNC plays so well as a team, covering each other. In fact, I see so many of their team, killing the YYY special troops, not able to let them set up comfortably on the wall. Now I think we see CNC's MVP.
The Ahan, he got 8 kills, 1 death, and 5 assists, and killed 109 troops in the game. Very amazing.
Yeah.
All those units he killed, basically all of them are high tier units. Yeah. Pretty amazing. So I think we will go to another stage of map ban pick again for both two teams, because this is the best of 5.
Yeah, so YYY has to change something up, because if this was just in a normal game, they already been out of the competition. So this is a chance for them to pick something interesting and take the series back into their hands. They have to remember they have to win 3 games in a row, the next 3 games, in
Yeah,
order to move up
yeah, that
in the
is
winners
a
bracket.
huge challenge for them now. But
That's-
just like take a deep breath and don't think too much. Step by step, let's win the next game.
Yeah. Something encouraging is that YYY played much better compared to the first game.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that the game just now wasn't as dominating compared to CNC side.
Yeah, they're getting back
So-
to getting back themselves. Yeah, so
Yeah, and I think there is definitely a opportunity. There was an opportunity for them to actually take the B point and everything, but they just moved a little bit too slow and a bit hesitant when they went in.
I think the second game, if the YY just like didn't ban the Harbor City, and that would be the perfect map for CNC to choose, because like previously CNC actually had the name like the King of Harbor City. They just like win, basically like the first 2 or 3 champions like on the map Harbor City. They kind of totally performed pretty well on this map.
Yeah, I want to see YY play Heilong Fort because that seems to be their strongest map. Heilong Fort is a map that suits the style of YY because they like hero killing, they like a lot more chaos. So especially when you've got siege towers, I think like CNC is just kind of teams that like to be in those maps where there's a lot more choke points. Like siege you have to do more as an attacker, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. Why banned Liu Fortress? Yeah. Okay, they choose Harbor City.
Ah, okay.
Okay. Now it happens on this map, Harbor City.
Again, we see Harbor City. Wow, YY really has a lot of confidence to go up against CNC on the Harbor City. This is still CNC is the king of Harbor City, and YY choosing to go up against Harbor City of CNC is quite an interesting pick, I must say.
Banned Kura Castle. Yeah, since always banned this map, right?
Yeah, CNC don't like this map.
Chevaliers, Wind Hussars got banned, and also the Flamethrowers and the Metallitor got banned. And one more ban for both sides. This is gonna
You see, Legolas really doesn't like those Chevaliers. Always banning that troop whenever
Yeah.
he has a chance.
Yeah, but it's kind of like unexpected. Like CNC banned the Winged Hussars because like we've already saying that they're so good at using cavalries, and yeah, those things like just banned those units.
Yeah, but YY has better Cav players compared to CNC. Just on paper itself, because they have so much top rankers down there. Especially you don't give Wing Hussars to players like Da Longke, they can really do a lot of damage. But still, by banning that, the cavalry, you can actually slow down YYY's pushes a lot more. Now CNC choosing to protect their halberdiers, the tier 3 one, and then banning the stalwarts. So I think if YY is smart enough, they should ban the halberdier sergeants. Oh, choosing to ban Shenji.
Grenadiers, yeah. I think that is a secret weapon for CNC because like CNC picked this unit for the last 2 games.
Yeah, for sure. But always, it doesn't really matter for CNC that much because it's not really about their carry units. It's about how their like troops like halberdier sergeants, fortibusher modal players use their protect the front line. So their carry units never ever actually get into trouble at all. Usually, most of the time.
Yeah. Actually, I think the next map, the next game is gonna be CNC gonna be the attacker, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think
the first
they will
pick.
be the attacking first. So for YY now, they banned three long range units, especially on this map. Harbor City is kind of very important to like to defend the siege towers, and the Metallitor must be pretty good at doing those things. But they banned those units, so it must be not that good for them to defend the point.
For sure. Of course, now CNC with those halberds, they're one of the best. If I was YY, I need to find a way to deal with how CNC use those halberdier sergeants, halberd units, because they're basically acting like a shield unit for CNC. Every time CNC wants to push forward, they always bring their halberds in front.
Yeah.
So that is what's causing YY so much issue, because with those halberd sergeants, you cannot use your hero to jump through, if not they'll just die. And every time you bring your cav, they also will just die.
Correct.
So that's what CNC is so good, because they understand, look, halberd is a unit that gets strong if the enemy jumps into them. They are weak if they are charging through,
Yeah.
Right.
That makes me like of my daily matchmaking, like 1 or 2 years ago, I played the Conclave, and I'm not quite like 2 years ago. I'm not quite good at Conclave back then, and the first time I see the Hobbitiers, I just directly jump into the units, and I got some instant deaths. I what happened? Just those things.
And recently, the devs they make bracing troop take stronger, because if you are moving faster into a brace unit, you will take more damage. So that's something that CNC can abuse, especially with their unit comp. Because players always complain, oh, cavalry is so strong, we need to remove cavalry from the game. So the devs say, okay, you know what, I can't remove cavalry from the game, but I will make bracing troops stronger. And that's why CNC is still unbeatable so far, because of that. And the only weakness to all these troops is the Chevaliers, because those crossbow, the retinues just do so much damage to those halberds. But CNC, that's why CNC just banned it straight.
Yeah. The retinue, for the Chevaliers, it's a kind of very interesting mechanic. Actually, back to that season, the Paragon season. Actually, those units were quite interesting, the Chevaliers, the Bannerlords, and those things with very special mechanics.
Yeah, but I remember when those units came out, a lot of players didn't dare to use them because they're confused, what does this do? How can I use them? But now you see, after a few months they come out, people are start to realize that, wow, these units are so interesting and strong.
Yeah. So it will take time. It will take time. Yeah. Yeah, this is the match 3, and CNC are leading in the game 2-0. So this is a match point actually. And if CNC won this game, the game will be they will win this round. This is the best of 5. So 2 teams are ready.
YY didn't choose to protect any troops, so I guess it means that they already have their strategy set.
So after this game, and we'll be the first team in the finals, qualified for the finals, and in the last game, from the lower bracket, and we have the we have the winner BPJT, and they've already made it to the lower brackets finals. So yeah, we are pretty close to the grand finals this Friday.
Yeah, tomorrow it'll be Friday will be the finals.
Yeah, Friday will be the grand finals. Sensei is very close to there. Only one game to go.
But Legolas, he never. One thing that makes him so good, and why he's honestly legend status, right? Is when I talk to him, when I interview him, he never gets too high or too low. Whenever he win, he's kind of like, okay, let's reset. Let's focus on the next game itself. And every time he loses, he's more like, it doesn't matter, let's just move on. Let's focus on the next game. That's one of the very important mindset when you're playing in a competitive gameplay.
Yeah, those kind of mindset are super important. Yeah, sometimes you are good enough, you just need to adjust yourself to the right place. With the right mindset, that will be good. So the third game is on. Let's jump into the preparation stage. This time CNC the attacker first, and YY be the defender this game. So yeah, just we mentioned, it's very important game for YY, win or go home game.
Yeah, so looking at CNC, of course the cavalry of choice for them would be the Dagger X Lancers. We've got about 9 people using the Dagger X Lancers. Whereas YYY choosing to bring more infantry. So I think it's very important that for both teams, if they're able to take out, if let's say YYY is able as a defender to hold out on the A point, CNC will have struggled to bring out those cavalry units.
Yeah, so the game is on. We'll be having the game 3 really soon.
Of course, interestingly, we see from YYY compared to the other games, as a defender, normally you like to see a lot more muskets. But for YYY, those medium troops just staying on pike. So I don't think YYY is playing for the A point down here. But let's see what they actually plan to do.
Okay, now game's on. Yeah, with champs, since they just never save any champs if they can use it, they will try to make things in a really effective way.
Yep. So, of course, YYY only has 2 muskets on the wall. That's even less than what we saw from the previous match. So then CNC can just set up the most mortars comfortably on the left hand side down here. On the middle, you see about 5 mortars already coming out from the CNC side. They're kind of the team that's so disciplined. They just go in, do what they have to do. Already, we see 4 cavalries come out from YYY.
Since he's using mortars to attack the enemy on the wall.
Yeah, I don't understand what YYY is trying to do here. They are using more cavalries to take out the towers, yet those medium players, they don't switch to musket. So it's kind of not very effective for them. Because it's so easy, right? You have your medium players who use medium, and then you can just switch out your from a musket to pike later on. But that musket class is so strong, especially on the wall, with all the bombs and utility that it bring.
Yeah, now the siege tower still kind of still have over 50% of HP, so kind of good for CNC to push the right side. Okay, now the YY is Yeah. Well, I keep shooting that. Very close.
Okay, yeah, so CNC will be able to mount the left tower and the right tower. So if my prediction is right, YYY is not going to commit anything on the A point. Okay, we
Yes.
see there is, I think it's YYY has a dual blade out of the gates, trying to cause chaos behind, but CNC have 4 troops chasing him. I don't think he's gonna get very far. Yep, first blood goes to CNC.
Okay, CNC landed on the wall.
So if you look from the units, you know, CNC is still pushing the towers. Now, even the thing is that without those 2 towers, I don't think CNC will commit onto the wall itself because it's just too dangerous for them to go through. Of course, YYY is not going to commit any more coverings to deal with the second push, you know. Gonna take the extra 30-40 seconds that CNC needs to mount the towers, bring the troops up, you know, and every minute, every second that they can delay for attackers will help them eventually on the final base defense.
Yeah, that's right. But for now, the middle tower is very close to the wall, and it's kind of still like the 4 health. I think they can make it, and YY just will abandon the point because like time is too much for CNC and too much for YY to defend their point A.
For sure. Oof, the longbow losing out towards the other longbow down there.
Okay, 2 towers mounted.
Yep, I think YY not bad. They take delayed 3.5 minutes of CNC's push. You know, now CNC is control of the wall. You know, just doing all those for 4 defensive artillery, I think that's a good trade for YY. YY still looking very good shape. They still have a chance to fight hard on one of the supply points down here.
Yeah, since we have 12 minutes to take over the rest of the point.
Correct. And now YY is able to set up more mortars to deal with what CNC wants to do on the wall itself.
And now
So you already see mortars coming from the left and right. YYY set up the artillery already.
Yeah, and CNC chose to go down from the right side.
Yep. If you look at this, very interestingly, CNC has their troops walking out from the back where the defenders cannot see, and now they're all gathering through the small gate down here, whereas YY has most of their heroes on the right hand side of the supply. Now, if YY doesn't catch what CNC is trying to do, you know, they will just leave their whole left supply point exposed down here. Oh, this is very dangerous for YY. They're not even moving. They don't see what CNC is trying to do. CNC has 15 units all on the small gate, and very smart because they walk from behind where the defenders cannot see. And YYY did not even have a hero down on the small gate to scout out CNC's position. Now CNC is ready to go through the small gate down here, and YY is not able to react to this.
CNC, let's see what they gonna do the next.
So definitely at this stage, YYY must have seen what CNC is trying to do, yet they're still not rotating. So they don't want to defend this supply point. So that's an interesting strategy coming out from YYY.
Yeah, they directly go to that supply point, the plebon near to the final base.
Correct. But CNC has brought up their halberdier sergeants onto the supply point, and whatever troops that YY has will just fall down.
Or basically all CNC players already there. into the
Correct.
fight, into this supply point.
Correct, and YY does not have a supply point here. They're just falling back to the final base. Oh, this is a very interesting way.
Oh, very quickly, since they play this game in a pretty like effective way, they just like after taking over that supply point, they directly go to the final base and want to get close to it.
Correct, and of course those they have such a nice setup on the supply point here. Already killing 2 of the YYY heroes, and the trap in a very beautiful spot down here.
Right in the center, those champs. Okay, and also the Hobbitius coming and stop the cavalries here.
Correct. And this is when we see the strength of YYY, you know. Usually this fight, this kind of fights that they want to take, that those small, big little engagements that they can have down here. CNC heroes dying very quickly on the point outside, but so much, they're able to bring out a second troop from the supply point.
Yeah, they still have the supply point and they can have raiding spots during time. Okay, the more
now Dagger X Lancer, all the care for CNC gonna come out and clear out the YY defenders down here. It's gonna be a team wipe.
Yeah.
Now YY has their Nafan guards out, attacking the supply point down here.
Yeah, this is kind of totally different feeling, especially on this map, because like normally we'll have fights like on the final base, and this are on in those narrow streets.
Correct. Wow, the 2 spear diving behind, clearing out the Nafan guards of the YYY.
Oh, the cavalry is basically charged for nothing.
Yep, more cavalry coming up from CNC.
Sweep out all of those cavalries from the YOI. Okay, again another wave of a horse rush here. For the pike units, totally like the counter those cavalries.
Correct. And CNC just going straight for the final base of YOY down now. So again, you know, having a couple, 140 Bastion, 1 Halberds blocking the reinforcements of YOY, whereas the rest of the team goes for the final base.
Oh, CNC took a really good spot here and controlling the situation around the final base. And the wild player just cannot, it's very difficult to get back to their supply final base and to defend that. Oh, also the champs coming on the way hit those like the backup from the YOY. And from the back we can see several squads of cavalry coming. Charge them from the back.
More cavalry charging through, you know. Those dagger extensors do so much damage to heroes. Now all of YY heroes on the final base are already down low HP. CNC going to wipe out all of the YY defenders on the final base.
Totally dominating the game.
This is why CNC is called Kings of Harbor City.
Yeah, there's no all tricks on this map.
Yeah.
Okay, now the third game, the winner again, I think is it's CNC again. Congratulations to CNC, make to the final again.
Yeah.
3-0, very impressive game.
She's completely dominating this series.
So MVP from CNC is 裂开的面具. I love this guy's name, it's very interesting. Crack the mask, yeah. He got 2 kills, 2 deaths, 10 assists, and killed 149 troops in the game. That is a crazy number for the unit of troops, for the troops killed in the game.
And all the troops that he killed are tier 4s and tier 5s.
Yes. And the MVP from YY is 天下会丽花. He got 1 kill, 5 assists, and 3 deaths, and 76 troops killed in the game. And he killed 25 the cavalries in the game, like 26 cavalries in the game. That's a lot.
Yep.
Like
But
the
still not
Cavs-
enough for them to come back
Yeah.
into the series.
Yeah. What a pity. Like the YY is a very good game, a very very good team, and they performed pretty well. But since they are just like better than them and win the game, I think YY still have yeah, next season they can come back and just go for it and just like challenge CNC again. That is a pretty
Yep.
good game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, YYY, I feel I can't help but feel it's a bit disappointed because they have such a strong squad, you know, and they've been playing very well throughout the whole knockouts. And it seems like the pressure just got to them at the final stage against CNC. Now CNC, you know, they don't really care who their opponent is. I think having strong teams bring the best out of CNC, and this is really CNC at their best down here. The way that they move out, it was such a simple move, you know, going out to the left, but YY just wasn't able to react in time. I wasn't prepared for that scenario.
Yeah, their goal. It's crazy. Like since is going for their 7th champion. That is crazy. Like this, just like I think last stream, when I streaming it with you, like we mentioned that it's kind of crazy thing that you won things 7 times in a row, like 6 times in a row. That is kind of crazy. But since yeah, I think also their confidence made them go this far. Because like they were Legolas, like every time when we talk to him, he's so confident about the next game, confident about their challenges, and they just believe they can win, and take it and take it easy, and yeah, performed really well.
Yep, and we will see finals of CNC and BPJT.
Yeah. So yeah, it's so to be. I think BPJT, yeah, they have a great chance to make it to the finals. So yeah, this Friday, and we know that the rest of the team can make it to the finals. So since it's already there, so if you wanna go for other teams, if you wanna be the champion, you have if you wanna be the best, you have to beat the best. So yeah, since it's already there. Yeah, and that is basically everything for today. So we'll meet you tomorrow. We still have games, and also this Friday gonna be the grand finals for this time the CBL. So make sure you won't miss out. And that is pretty much today. And thanks, Dex. Thanks for joining us, and very happy to co-cast with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the match today. You know, of course, we see CNC once again dominating, and it's an honor to cast with you, Brett. Yeah.
So see you guys next time. See you.
See you.